It's time for Soccer Card United. This is episode 176 of the greatest soccer card podcast in the world. It's Monday. I'm Jason. That's Enzo. Hello, Enzo.
Hello, Jason.
How are you?
I'm tired. I'll be honest. I'm tired, but I feel fresh.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm tired, though.
We had a busy weekend, but unlike other previous busy weekends, we weren't traveling too far to and from this one.
Thank God.
We spent the weekend at the convention centre in Dublin, down on the north wall of the Keys, at Comic-Con Dublin, or Dublin Comic-Con, I think is what they call it.
Dublin Comic-Con is the name.
And basically, you had been there in April or May?
Yes, one of those months.
With Faye, who people who have seen us at the London Card Show, of course, know Faye. He's a real character, former guest on the show, all that stuff. And you had a scope around because you were trying to figure out, is our trading card somebody that these people might like to...
Could we do it, I said. Could we do it? Could we rock up here with a table and have the kind of success we've had globally?
Mm-hmm.
Could we have that in our own backyard? And if so, what way do you do it? Of course, this is not a sports event, so can it be done? Of course, we start stocking a lot of Star Wars. We had from previous incidents a few Pokemon boxes.
Yeah.
And a few other bits. And
Dragon Ball Z boxes.
Dragon Ball Z. We had it all. So the cross was there. Now, people pointed out to us that we didn't have Yu-Gi-Oh! We didn't have Magic the Gathering. But we went out on a ledge and we said, let's do it. Let's try. Let's try not to have too much sports in their face because we kind of felt like this, as you said, this is like one of the days where a lot of people there are like, we don't need to think about sports.
Yeah.
So we needed to really show up the right way.
I just learned just now.
Tell me.
That this was their 10th anniversary show.
Wow.
Dublin Comic-Con has been going for 10 whole years.
A decade.
A decade of Dublin Comic-Con.
What's going to happen when there's a decade of Soccer Cards United?
Geez, I hadn't even considered that possibility until just now.
There you go. You said 10 episodes. I said 10 years.
10 years. Wow.
Let's go. But yeah, so we rocked up. It was definitely a different experience than we've had at any card show.
Yeah.
Setting up the day before was very fascinating.
Yeah, so on Friday we went down.
And we set up on the Friday.
And interestingly, and people who host and run card shows be interested to know this, I think. Because there's a lot to
learn.
You know, because Comic-Cons are
big.
Much more longer established than card shows, certainly on this side of the Atlantic. But even I would say in America, Comic-Cons go back before the National and stuff like that. Maybe.
Don't go on a ledge and say that. Say maybe.
Let me just see when San Diego Comic-Con started. San Diego Comic-Con since 1970. So that's 53 years.
The National was his 44th annual. Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow, but close.
Close, but
I mean a 10 year.
10 years.
Yeah.
So there's interesting stuff. One of the things we found out actually on Saturday, but we could have been told on Friday but weren't, was we didn't actually book tables like you do at a card show. We booked a square footage, like a booth space, and we were free to put whatever we wanted.
Yes,
as long as,
because not everyone needs a table. That's the thing that's fascinating. Because you could be there just with photos, with, you know, the way Lucasade just had a few cartons or whatever. But like for us, we added 2 additional tables, which sounded to me like we had a table.
Yes.
I thought we had 3.
And we're coming in with card show brains. So we're thinking this is all done in terms of tables.
Yeah. So we're foolish, of course.
Well, we're
foolish guys. We went that ignorant.
Yeah, and we learned a lot. So
we pulled it off.
I'm trying to see, because I'm looking at
the social.
I'm looking at their Instagram here. I'm trying to figure out, did we make any photos of us?
I think we were purposely neglected. Because we didn't really represent.
Were we here? We were in this area. This is the forum. We were in the ground floor. And to be honest, I didn't get to look around as much as I would have liked.
You could have done.
I could have done, but we were very busy.
We were.
And it seemed like all this stuff was going on. There was unbelievable
cosplay.
I mean, because you had been there before, I hadn't.
Yeah.
And I knew about cosplay and all that stuff, and but I didn't expect it to be at the high level that I saw it at. It was a very. There's a dog barking.
We're going crazy.
There's actually 2 little dogs.
2 little dogs. They sound so mighty.
Their bark is louder than their bite. There's all this stuff going on in terms of cosplay. There was people playing Pokemon tournaments and Magic the Gathering tournaments. There was panels,
autograph
signings. And you know, when we went to the National and we got the autograph signing list, we were like, I don't know anybody on this list. I knew people at the Comic-Con signing list.
It says a lot about you. You're not a sportsman.
Not a sportsman. I know I've seen the Pokemon cartoon, but I haven't seen the 1976 Super Bowl. What's wrong with me? So we had a good time, basically.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was totally different clientele. A lot of explaining.
A lot of explaining. So we had, I'll just get, for people here who are watching.
Look at us.
There we are there.
Unbelievable.
So this is only one part of the booth.
It's only half a table.
Yeah. But starting from left to right, and I'll explain it for the listeners, we had Star Wars stuff.
Yes.
We had some Pokemon battle boxes.
Oh yeah, unbelievable hit.
VMAX battle boxes.
Unbelievable. Had them for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Never really had a method to sell them.
WWE Select. And then we're into the soccer.
Yeah, soccer, all open hobby boxes, and F1 and soccer, by the way, Jason. F1 was such a big hit. We didn't bring that on the Saturday.
I have a
take.
A whole take on the F1 thing, yeah.
Well, so we'll get to that. But we had all the hobby boxes, as you can see there in the photo, anyone that's on YouTube, opened up in pack configuration, which you very rarely get to see.
Yeah, because at a card show, we wouldn't do that. We'd say you want them.
You buy the box. I mean, in the hobby, you don't really do that. You rarely buy the pack. Like, it is an option. If you're in a hobby shop, definitely an option. At shows, it can be an option. We never really do it. Like, I would be interested maybe to do it at the next show that we do, maybe. Just to test it. Just to test it. Although, in fairness, it is really hard not to open the packs yourself. Yeah. I'd say after about lunchtime on Sunday, it fell apart in terms of our ability to withstand. Yeah. We were exhausted and we could no longer resist the temptation just to open all the packs ourselves. Because they were there looking at us. Yeah. We had some Marvel annual stuff from Upper Deck. We had some Marvel Funko Pop stuff from Upper Deck. From San Diego Comic-Con. We picked that up at the National. And people knew about it immediately. Like, I would say, like, one of the first people that came up to us was like, oh my god, you have those. He's a Scottish guy, a YouTuber. And he's like, you should get them at San Diego Comic-Con. And he was like, oh, that's very expensive. Oh god, I'd love to buy one of them, but it's very. He's like, are they getting released here? Is that why you have them? Like, and we were like, no, they're not getting released here. He brought them. Like, yeah. And eventually came back and bought one. Fair play. For full price. Fair play. Full asking price. So you had questions about F1 on Saturday, and we brought some F1 then on Sunday. Yeah. And there was an experience we had with F1 that I noticed that I think is I've never heard any of these so-called F1 card gurus or F1 people talk about this ever. And it's interesting with the blind spots that you find when you get out of your comfort zone. Pay attention, because we're always paying attention. You get into the real world. You talk to real people. Real humans. Girls, women and girls. Women and girls. Coming up, and I would describe it as fangirling. Fawning over F1 drivers. And saying, oh my god, they have max cards. Oh my god. It was like when you see the old videos in the 60s of the Beatles and the girls are just screaming. It was like, Verstappen mania. Yeah, they liked Verstappen. And Leclerc and all the lads. Science, yeah. And because, of course, F1 has a long tradition of, regardless of gender, like very diverse fandom in terms of that. Like a good balance, I think, of attending F1 races and stuff you'll find compared to other sports. But then also with the explosion of Drive to Survive and what I would call like the memeification of some of the F1 drivers as cultural figures instead of just drivers, athletes. That was something I'd never seen at all the card shows. I've never seen anyone talk about the drivers, and not just in a fangirl way, but like with actual such affection and having a connection to the driver. It was a completely different way that like a George Russell collector might have a connection to George Russell that you'd see at like the London Card Show or something. They don't come up and go, oh my god, you know what I mean? It's Russell. Yeah. So one of them was like immediately put in like a bag chain as a display piece. Yeah. Or wherever, I don't know, a wallet maybe. Something like that, like to show, just to have Max close by. Yeah. And two of the young ladies that came up kept saying to each other, "This is so ridiculous what we're doing. We're buying trading cards of these guys, these men." And it's like that. I've never heard anyone say that as a way to grow the F1 hobby.
Because the people...
Saying better images of the drivers.
Yeah. Or maybe you could get driver cards into the hands of people who like the driver. Maybe you could market beyond your niche. You know, you could step out of your comfort zone.
We definitely brought something totally different to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Right? I think right there, it's not on screen anymore, but I think we had planned to launch a different name prior to Comic-Con.
Yeah, so that we wouldn't offend anyone with the Soccer Cards United name.
Because that banner was very highly hung.
Yeah.
And we especially got with the VIP early entrance, which we consider to be the hardcore.
Yeah.
We had no luck with the hardcore. They were like soccer. And they were only short of spitting at the ground in front of us.
Yeah.
So what are you doing here?
A lot of people kind of giggling and smirking as they go by soccer cards.
And loud enough for us to hear.
Yeah.
Not loud enough for us to swing at them.
Yeah.
Beyond that, and this is maybe more of an Irish thing, and I'm sure you get it across Europe and in the UK and everything, but I think it's very prevalent in Ireland.
Yeah.
I've never heard the word Match Attax so much in my life, especially considering the wording of Match Attax or promotional Match Attax was nowhere near any part of our table.
We did not say Match Attax at once. We didn't have any Match Attax.
I would say the match if we had recorded the entire show with like one of those social media recording cams.
Yeah.
Had our table recorded with good audio, and we had a Match Attax count going, it would have broke 100 over that weekend. And just like the association, the branding association of if it's in a packet and it's football card, that's Match Attax.
Yes.
It's so like no one stopped and read and said, no, they were Match Attax over there. They have Match Attax. Those boys sell Match Attax.
Yeah.
We had such an amazing spread of things. Liverpool lineage, like they just seen that and went, they have Match Attax.
Yeah.
It was like just this weird cognitive thing, and they all did it so well.
And they were saying like they'd be like, what kind of Match Attax are these?
Yeah, and they were like, why is these Match Attax expensive?
And I'm like, the words you're looking for are cards.
Yeah, these are not Match Attax.
These are not Match Attax. These are cards.
These are just cards.
It's like...
And we said if we had Match Attax on this table...
Oh my God, we would have been millionaires by the end of the weekend.
Billionaires.
Yeah. We would have been broadcasting live now from a gold-plated studio. If we'd had a few boxes of Match Attax with us at Comic-Con. But it was like... But again, going back to the F1 thing and the different ways of that fandom can operate, and then going into this, is like, we're in a bubble.
Yeah.
We talk about, fanatics talk about 10xing the hobby and soccer being an important part of that. And it's like, well, all these people want to buy soccer cards. They just desperately do not want to spend $100 or more like $300 on a box.
Yeah, and when you get to the Topps Chrome, 4 packs, 4 cards in a pack.
Yeah. How many times did a parent say to a child, and before you spend your money on this, there's only 4 cards.
There's only 4 cards in there. And like we had one box of Flagship there, which has 8 cards in it, and that was the most popular box
to get packs out of. Yeah.
And like we had Finest Flashbacks, and I couldn't understand what was happening. Why was that not being bought? Like, because why did they have the association? I eventually said it's because Cristiano Ronaldo's on this box, which could have been, but I'm pretty sure Finest Flashbacks has 5 cards per pack. I think it was purely based on number of cards per pack.
Yeah.
Was really,
and price of the pack.
No, but there was the same. Finest Flashback was 5 as well. They were both the same. Yeah, same price, right next to each other. I thought Finest Flashback was more colourful, better stock, less kind of hits technically, because only like 1 per box, kind of 2 per box. But yeah, it was a really bizarre experience, and it was one of those experiences you can only have if you're at the ground in the gutter, getting your fingers dirty.
Yeah,
but it was insane.
On the Star Wars side, we had some autographs, Star Wars autographs, and people always joke about you get Star Wars autographs of people you don't know, you never heard of, and it's like, this guy like was the puppeteer on this robot that was in it for 2.5 seconds or whatever. And we laid out all those autographs. I priced them, and I think apart from 2, they all sold.
We had a lot.
Now they were like, I priced them like to comps.
Yeah.
Like to sell. Now I know this is a strange idea to some people in the hobby, but when we go to a card show, we like to price it at a price that somebody could feasibly buy it at.
Yeah.
And most of them sold, including like there was one that was like a Twi'lek, like an alien waitress. It was called Twi'lek Server. Just a picture of an alien waitress holding a drink, and it was I think it was €5 for the autograph. But like the fact that that's anything, and we had a conversation lots of times. It was like Star Wars products were flying, like this. The base cards were flying pictures. Like they had like a little section like the Grogu gallery. It was all
Grogu was going crazy.
We
almost opened a load of Mandalorian just to get more Grogu.
Yeah. Because we couldn't get Cristiano Ronaldo on the table on the soccer side,
He sold out so fast.
or Grogu on the Star Wars side.
That was Cristiano Ronaldo base cards.
Yeah.
People loved them. And I think Ronaldo, Messi, obviously Messi won the World Cup. Ronaldo, Messi, Garnacho were the 3 most requested players.
Yeah.
United are massive.
Yeah.
Do you remember the people that said, we had Liverpool team sets, we had Bayern team
Which
sets,
sold,
and Chelsea team
sold
sets,
very, very well.
and City team sets, and the amount of people that said, is there one for Man United?
Yeah.
And we just have to, we kept saying the Glazers are ruling the pricing of the trading card license with an iron fist, and no one's willing to pay it. And they just went, I hate the Glazers.
Yeah. But yeah, we had Barca, Bayern, Chelsea, and Liverpool team sets, and
They went well.
Liverpool went
Very well. Big club.
very well.
Big club in this side of the neck of the woods.
Yeah. So it was really interesting, the whole thing.
Fascinating.
We opened a Marvel annual box
Yeah, that was fun.
just to get some singles.
We said, yeah, let's get the Star Wars singles was doing so well. We said, let's open a Marvel. We'll have a bit of fun. We'll put out a load of Marvel cards, sell those singles, and that's exactly what we did, and exactly what happened. We hit a big Spider-Man as well, which currently sells for a good amount of money.
And then a lot of the singles sold.
People loved the single. It was great. It was a slow start with them. We got a bit worried, and then they start picking up really fast.
And so it was like it was interesting because there was cards that we were selling at Comic-Con, and we've had this at KitCon as well. These are like all the adjacent kind of things. But it's like there are cards we were selling at that we wouldn't be able to sell at a card show.
Or anywhere.
Or anywhere. Anywhere where there's card people, they would say, that's a base card, I'm not buying that from you.
I don't care for base.
You know, and it's not, obviously kids are one thing. Kids, it's like a cool looking card with a picture of Garnacho. They'll say, can I buy that? And if it's relatively cheap, the parents will buy it for them or whatever. But also on the entertainment side, you know, like we didn't have any numbered cards out because you very rightly observed that we're going to spend all our time scaring people off by trying to explain to them what serial numbering is. Yeah.
They don't care. This clientele didn't care.
Yeah.
They wanted cheap, cheerful. They wanted their idols or their favorite characters or their favorite athletes or their favorite whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't care about anything else. They were not there to invest in a one-of-one.
It was really interesting.
It was fascinating. And it was still good. Like, it's up there revenue-wise with some of the card shows that we've done.
Definitely, yeah.
Do you know, like, it's surpassed. Like, I mean, I don't want to. I don't know.
Well, we won't name specific card shows.
It surpassed some of the card shows we went to this year. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, and it was a lot of base and a lot of packs and a lot. Like, it was selling different things.
Yes.
And we had a bit of Pokemon that did really well. That obviously inflated the numbers a bit.
Yes, that's right.
And it was a lot of education. We were explaining to a lot of people, and thankfully, it was actually, now I feel real clever that our trade night is this Saturday, because there was a lot of people that some people kind of knew and were coming up and chatting, and we were saying, oh, actually next weekend we're doing a card only thing, and that's kind of getting a bit of, that was smart. And on top of that, one thing that I really want to do, give the I guess some of the streamers out there and the company, Tops in specific, or Fanatics, I don't know, credit for, is that there was some kids under the age of 10 that knew what Chrome was.
Yes.
And knew, like, they were like, that's Chrome. And they got excited. And one of them was like, there's Chrome cards, sometimes there's Chrome cards in Match Attax.
Yes.
And like that purposeful introduction of rare Chrome cards into Match Attax to kind of teach people Chrome is like a different level.
It's creating that neural pathway.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah.
And like obviously streamers that are opening Tops Chrome and all, when kids see it, they were like, that's Chrome.
Yeah.
That's the thing I've seen people open, that's different.
But the idea that you would watch, say, I don't know if Castro rips stuff anymore, does he?
I've heard he's not streaming anything at the moment. He's just doing his Dallas FC thing.
Okay.
Or Austin, I'm not sure.
But let's say you're Castro and you're opening packs of Tops Chrome, and you've got a very young fan base and they're watching it, and then one day they get the Match Attax and then they get the Chrome card. It's like, oh my god, it's like I'm like him.
Castro gets.
You know.
But then you walk into Comic-Con and you see it there, because you're not seeing that where you're seeing your Match Attax.
No.
You see it. They have Tops Chrome.
Yeah.
Holy shit. But that was very minimum. That did happen, but it wasn't like
it
most
happened a couple of times. But even the fact that it happened a couple of times was amazing.
Stuff's happening. But like a lot of it, oh my god, was that Match Attax.
Yeah. And you know as well, like in terms of our brand,
they have Star Wars Match Attax. That's what someone said.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like that thing as Match Attax taking over the term card.
It's like Hoover for vacuum cleaner.
That's what I'm saying. Or it's like Kleenex.
Yeah.
For tissue.
I think in some parts of the United States they say Coke when they mean any soda.
There you go. It's one of those.
It's one of those.
Such is the brand. It's a strong brand.
It's incredible.
Unbelievable.
Somebody asked me the Star Wars cards. Somebody's looking and they say, what game do you play with this?
And I said, so confused.
This is no game.
So this is no game, sir. This is very serious.
I'm a serious collector.
But can I say, the scrapping of Match Attax Chrome in favour of UEFA Superstars, right?
In the context of this,
was great.
Oh.
Because imagine if we had Match Attax Chrome on the table, for example. How confusing would have been to try to explain to people, all of this isn't Match Attax, it's Chrome, and then here is like Match Attax Chrome. You're saying it's different, but then you create this product that's the same.
But you could argue the other side of that, and you could say these are like, because we always say to people, if they're talking about Chrome, we say like it's like Match Attax, but it's like the next level of Match Attax. Match Attax Chrome literally is that staircase effect.
I know, but I think it ruins what Chrome is. You're either saying Chrome is premium or you're not. Like Gucci, if you will, aren't also setting up in pennies selling a few lower end t-shirts.
But sometimes they do. Sometimes you'll get like, I don't know, you'll get like Gucci X Zara or something.
I just prefer Superstars.
Because how do you explain Superstars?
The same way, but it still segregates it. And like Superstars, in fairness, like a lot of it was paper stock with some Chrome kind of a thing. I think that's what that was.
It was very funny because you have given me some gentle slagging on this podcast. We're talking all the time about the stock that cards are printed on. And there was a few times when, for both of us, explaining to people, you see, it's all about the stock that's printed on. And the faces I was getting in return, people are like, why are you talking to me about what it's made of? Like, I'm trying to ask you which pack I should buy for €4 or €5 for my kids. And you're talking about, you see, the manufacturing process is very interesting for this. And to do parallels, they had to come up with a whole new process,
But how else do you explain it?
I don't know, but it was a great challenge. I enjoyed it a lot.
How do you feel about parallels on the front versus on the back? Because every time I tell people, they're numbered, and they always turn to the back and look at the card number and go, like, this one is 64. I was like, that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I was struggling to explain serial numbering so much that I'm starting to think I don't understand serial numbering. Because at one point, remember the kid bought a pack of Barcelona Chrome, came up and he was saying, I got a parallel, and then his dad flipped it over and goes, oh yeah, look, there's only 99 of those in the world. And I was going, right, there's only 99 of those in the world. But there's also 75 of 75s. And 50, like, I knew in that moment the dad did not
understand,
because it's like, I would just say like, it's like, oh, there's not only 99 of them. It's like, yeah, there's only 99 of those ones that are numbered to 99, but I'm not sure he's not thinking like, see, these are purple, there's only 99 purple ones.
But that's what it is, because the very term parallel means like these are all in parallel.
Yeah.
You can put them next to each other, they're all in this parallel lane.
Yeah.
And they all.
But I think that education piece,
I think we need to put together an educational document if we ever do an event like that again.
Yeah.
Just hand it to people with a lot of information.
So here's the story.
I can't explain it, but here's the manufacturing process.
Yeah.
Here is all the different releases. Here's what one Chrome autograph means.
Do you know the way sometimes
so I'm ready to go mad.
If you're in an art gallery or before you go on a roller coaster or whatever, let's say it's like, let's keep it highbrow. Let's say you're at like the Picasso Museum in Paris, right?
Me.
And you're walking around and you're like, oh, this Pablo Picasso guy, some of this stuff's really weird, I don't get it. And then it's like the exhibition is on like Picasso's early work, and then all of a sudden you walk into this dark room, there's a video playing. You sit on a bench with other people, you sit there awkwardly, and there's a thing on a loop,
on a wheel, yeah,
and it explains, and it's the same thing for people coming in over the same 5-minute documentary over and over again. We could have a little room off to the side.
I would love that,
where you go in and there's just a video playing on it, and it's the two of us. So you've stumbled upon the Soccer Cards United booth at a card show. You probably have a lot of questions. Luckily, we're here to help.
Is this Match Attax? No. Yeah. Let's get ready.
There's two words you probably think of right now. Match Attax.
Get rid of them.
Throw them out.
Throw them out. It's not that.
Yeah. It's so close to being that.
Now do you know what I want to do? Book out a gallery.
Yeah.
And set up and literally have like big paintings.
An exhibition.
Exhibitions on the walls with different little things explaining like the whole timeline of the hobby.
Yeah.
And then have those little rooms. And we could promote it like crazy and get all the people there.
Yeah.
It'd be unbelievable.
Yeah.
we'll call it a Match Attax meetup in the National Gallery of Ireland. Then they'll all flood in, and then they'll be caught. It's like an intervention.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We could have like a performance art piece where it's you in a glass box with a shredder covered in Match Attax like a ball pool. And you're shredding whole Match Attax into shredded Match Attax, and it's slowly kind of coming up to you're in there for 48 hours or something.
Then we melt it all down and turn it into chromium stock. That's
something like that.
There's something here that we've just stumbled upon. Everyone's doing card shows. We're doing this.
Yeah. We're doing kind of concept art
Vogue.
around this stuff. We could get on the cover of Vogue.
On the cover.
I have friends who, come to think of it, not very nice friends.
Oh.
Who give me a lot of grief for selling Match Attax for a living. And whenever I see them, they'll say, how's the Match Attax going? And I go, I don't sell Match Attax.
This is a serious business.
I've got an international collectibles business. This is not a game, I say.
Is this a game to you?
Yeah. It's not a game to me. It's how I pay my bills. And it was happening people whispering Match Attax as they walked past the table was happening so much that I could have sworn there was a hidden camera somewhere.
It was a joke.
And I had like friends up in a booth going like Impractical Jokers style, go past and say Match Attax in a quiet voice. You know. It was almost a prank how often people asked us about
It was
Match
insane.
Attax.
It was insane.
But that's very good.
It's great.
Because if you were in, say it's 1952 and you're trying to sell Topps baseball cards and everyone's walking by your booth in New York just before you dump all the mantles into Hudson River or whatever, and everyone's walking past going, cigarette cards, look, the cigarette cards, oh, chocolate cards, you know, you'd be like, God, they're not cigarette cards, but you're on the right track.
Yeah, you're getting there.
You're
one away.
You're only one step away.
We seen one of the guys from Irish Radio was there, walk by. He kind of looked at us a walk by, and I was like,
yeah, Dermot Whelan.
I was on your show. I spoke directly to your face. You invited me on. He didn't come up and say, how's it going, boys? Yeah. Now you pointed out to me that they have people on every single day.
For all sorts of bullshit.
But you'd remember this.
Yeah, well, I also pointed out to you that he has a co-host called Dave, and Dave was very interested, and Dermot was kind of slightly bemused.
True.
But
say hello.
If only Dave had been there.
I know. If only they didn't split.
And Dermot's just left the radio to go and start his own business. We could have had a chat, fellow entrepreneurs.
Yeah, fellow businessmen.
You know.
He'd be like, you're not a businessman, you sell Match Attax.
Yeah, I am. It's not a game.
It's not a game.
What games do I play with these? Someone said, oh, like Top Trumps. I was going to strangle them.
It's hard to say it's not Match Attax, but then also say, but Topps make it.
Yeah, Topps do make it, and like...
But it's not that.
And yes, I have this graded Erling Haaland Match Attax Sal 13, and it is 300 quid. But I don't do Match Attax.
It's not a game.
Except on very rare occasions.
That's the thing, because if we expanded to add Match Attax in, would it just get even? Like, it's almost like you can't do both.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously you can do both, but like, you can't, like, if you do both, then it's confusing or it's perfect. I don't know. Because we had TurboTax, and for the life of me, I do not know how we had them. We had 3 tins of TurboTax. And when I was grabbing, someone was saying, I collect the F1. This was the Saturday. I collect the F1. Do you have F1? And we were like, yeah, we're thinking our heads. We have Sapphire at home. We have Chrome. We have some Dynasty, a bit of everything. Chrome Light.
I'm doing the Topps F1 set.
She goes, trying to do a complete set. And I said, oh, this is unbelievable. You know, we have a card show actually going on the 19th. We have a little meetup. And then she goes, she said something, I don't know, she said something that gave away it was TurboTax. Don't know what she said.
I don't know either.
And I kind of looked and I said, she's talking about TurboTax. And I was going to go fucking mental. And then I remembered we had 2 tins.
Right.
And I just said, I have 2. I don't know how I got them. I genuinely must have been in a goodie bag or something. Yeah,
I'm so close to remembering, but I can't quite get there.
We somehow ended up with TurboTax tins. Like 3 of them, no more than 3. And so I just brought them. The box said they were worth €8. You know, they have a print.
No, do you know what it was?
What?
It was when they had the Hamilton Fire cards. You had to order a tin and you got the free fire insert.
There you go.
I did it.
Okay, so we had them. We just had them knocking about. So I said, all right, I'll bring them. I put €8 on both of them because they said they were €8. The girls came back the next day and bought the 2 of them. And I said, I just made €16. on some stuff I just had chilling in my house.
Yeah.
That were like ready for the bin. From genuinely, I was like, oh, they're in the way. They were so small. I was like, it's fine. We had TurboTax, but then we had Chrome Light. Then opened up, as you see in the photo there, that you've seen earlier. Jason's going to put it on screen. And that was the only box, maybe with flagship, that and Champions League flagship, fully sold out of packs. And in fact, there was more demand for the F1. We only brought one light, which I think has like 16 packs in it. And at the very end, they were trying to buy like 8 packs or something, and we had like 6 left.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any other boxes because I was like, I literally only brought one of that. Because initially I was like, I'll bring a load of F1. Then when I realized they're talking about TurboTax, I was like, I'll bring one.
Yeah.
And we kind of said like, F1 fans are as nerdy as Comic-Con people, like some of them, they have that crossover. So it could actually be really good to bring that, and we brought it, and it did well. And I'm actually excited about them opening them packs and having that kind of experience of, these are different, these are Chrome, and hopefully they get some nice images of drivers that they want. Because then you're just wondering, you're kind of going, how do I get more of that?
Yeah.
How do I get more of that?
People who F1 fans talking about cars often sound like Star Trek fans talking about the design of the Starship Enterprise. Another thing, speaking of Chrome Light and Chrome and flagship and all that stuff, one of the other linguistically kind of difficult concepts to explain is the concept of a guaranteed auto. Because it's like, in this box, you are guaranteed an auto, but not in every pack. In one of the packs in this box, I don't know if that auto is gone yet or not. In this box, you will get an auto every once in a while, but not necessarily in every box. There's no guarantee of anything. In this box, that's also the case, but either less or more so.
And Chrome and Chrome Light might look exactly identical. When you're going to pick up packs, you're wondering why one is one price and one is a higher price.
Yeah.
And they look identical.
Because when you're buying a box, there's a guaranteed auto and a not guaranteed auto. But when you're buying packs, it's all about frequency. It's per pack. It's not actually per box. So there is no guarantee anything.
The only thing there's only 4 cards in that pack.
Yeah.
That's where like Panini kind of get away with it. Like if we had opened up the Mosaic, it would have said 15 cards in a pack. And they're all bullshit cards, but they didn't care.
I suppose because we open Mosaic, and the problem with Mosaic is
there's too many cards.
What am I going to do all these cards?
But if we could have had them out there going for €10, this pack gives you 15 cards. I reckon they would have been a hit.
Yeah,
but we're not trying to push that agenda.
But no, I don't want any more. Like, I don't want a higher print run.
One of the good things is we opened the rest of the packs of the WWE Select.
Yeah.
We opened the rest of the Chrome.
Yeah.
And in both of them, we didn't get an autograph, which means
it's out there.
Some person who just decided to buy a pack, who didn't know nothing about the hobby, 3 or 4 or 5 times maybe throughout the weekend, opened it and had that experience of getting an autograph card and being like, what in the world is this?
So presumably, I really hope we hear from those people.
I want at least one person to message and say, hey, I bought a pack from you, I got this, what's it worth? And I want it to be like the 101 Garnacho Superfractor autograph. And then I'll just be like, it's worth more than it should be, but it's good.
In terms of sealed boxes, we saw one Chrome hobby.
Yeah.
Full Chrome hobby. Yes. A lot of Liverpool boxes.
Some Chelsea, some City.
WWE Select.
A few of them, and a few Star Wars Chrome. 2023.
Very exciting.
And Pokemon, obviously. We had those battle boxes. They were selling like hotcakes.
It's good fun. Really good fun. In general, if I could just... On Comic-Con, I'd never been there before. I'd heard all sorts about it. I was really impressed by the cosplay and all that stuff. I was also just kind of a little bit... now, most of you were very, very busy, but in terms of my... the few moments I had along with my thoughts, I was also very kind of touched by the whole thing.
It was a good community.
Everyone was so nice.
Having a great time. Not to us, though. Not all the time. Sometimes they were like, it's Match Attax, soccer. Haha, why is soccer here? Haha.
Yeah, and that's...
That was a bit snarky.
That's a bit snarky, but like...
But we were very, very external to the whole thing.
Yeah, that's to be expected if you're intruding. And we ended up having positive... But in terms of like... The tone was so nice. There were people... a very diverse group of people there. It was a very accessible venue in terms of like people with mobility issues and all that stuff. There was families, there was just all ages, all races, creeds, all that stuff, it was just a lovely time. So I'd like to congratulate the organisers for doing that over 10 years.
The last retail pet peeve, I guess, we had was the women's knockout. We didn't sell any of those boxes, but we really feel like we would have if there was images of women on it. That way it was very, very clear. This is like actually a women's box. I don't know, like for Chrome there is, and like even like other sets, like there's other sets that do show it.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of, we sold a few Barcelona Chrome packets, and I think that's because the women were on that.
Yeah.
But I do think if you're just a casual person walking in, you've never seen any of this before, it might be very hard to see that is a women's box. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's no picture of men on Topps Gold.
That's what I'm saying. And there's none on like the men's knockout either.
Yeah.
But it's just, and so I suppose it's more so waiting for those women's sets to kind of come out. Like women's Chrome, if they had been out in time,
oh yeah.
I reckon those packs would have really went really well.
Yeah.
But it was great. It was a great experience. It was obviously different. It wasn't a card show, right? It was a totally different thing. It was like we just basically set up a stall somewhere as simple tradesmen, simple merchants.
Yeah. And just rocked up. And it was almost, to be honest, it was like after been at London and being international and having so many conversations with everybody who doesn't just know what they're talking about, but like really knows what they're talking about.
They're deep. They know things we don't know.
Yeah. People are telling you stuff and you're like, oh.
Didn't know that. Probably didn't need to know that, but that's interesting. To have this other side of it was just, I feel refreshing.
Yeah, I feel tired but fresh.
You had a reality check. You've spent the last 3 years of your life selling Match Attax as a living.
Yeah.
And you had a few real people talk to you instead of talking to all of these hobby heads that we do all the time. You got out of your bubble, Jason.
That's right. Touch grass.
Touch a bit of grass and you're a different man for it.
Yeah. I feel good this Monday afternoon.
There you go.
So that's Comic-Con. We did that.
We did it.
Right. Let's talk about some products.
Yeah.
Enzo, you've been impressed.
Oh my God.
By Topps UCL Sapphire. Notice how I said UCL, not UCC, because it's a UEFA Champions League product.
Listen.
You've been impressed by Sapphire.
I think it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
There's obviously controversy about the frame, which we talked about last time, the border. But the Sapphire selection as a 2 per case hit look beautiful.
Right, yeah.
The parallels of that look beautiful, and obviously the main thing to complement, apart from the image variations, which again are also wonderful, is the autographs. You know, they fall roughly 1 per case. I think it's 1 in 34, so about 1 per 3 cases. Sorry, 1 per 3 case, but 1 in 34. When you're watching breaks, you're seeing them, right? If people are going through a few cases, you have a fairly decent chance of seeing an autograph. And as we said in the last show, like having a kind of chase autograph as opposed to like a guaranteed helps differentiate it, makes them a bit rarer. Sapphire autograph, and it gives it a lot more weight. The same way Sapphire cards have a lot more weight to normal cards.
Because it is, there just aren't supposed to be as many of them. So even a base card,
the supply should be low.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there is base autographs. It might just be numbered, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I haven't seen enough. But I've seen only coloured so far, I'm pretty sure. But the main thing is that the superfractor, so the 1-of-1 autograph, is not a pad paradasha.
Yeah.
They are literal Topps Sapphire superfractors, which look so good.
I have some examples of some cards
You've got
here.
some gold. For me, it looks good. I think the price is holding up really well. It looks like a fun set. It looks like a set that you can open with a bit of more joy than you could with last year's box, because you have that chase. Image variations like this, Erling Haaland, I believe that is his image variation.
And we're not hearing reports of
messed up boxes.
That's
something people forget about last year's set, is that there are some boxes out there with no parallels in it.
That was
derailed it as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
It became a disaster.
That was the story of last year, was the fact that it came out and people were not getting any parallels. So once you have that introduced, the product is gonna struggle. Whereas this year it's smooth release. It's people seem to be getting the parallels that they're owed, and it's all good.
The image variations are so good. Like there's a Ronaldo one there. You might see a pop up, Jason.
This one here.
There you go. Looks like that's what you want. You want these images of celebrations. I love it. Like the Haaland is class. And yeah, Sapphire selection removes the borders, which a lot of people like. Because the borders
like I mean, that for me, the Sapphire selections are the go-to, because I'm gonna go on record and say I don't like the border.
Yeah.
And I don't have to like it.
Do you like that as kind of a mugshot style thing? It's not an action shot. It's more of a
I mean, I prefer the images on the base cards, but I do think Sapphire Selections, this is like the kind of thing you'd get on the Sky Sports lineup graphic.
Yes.
You know, so that's at least kind of consistent. I like when the words and the images match.
Yeah.
And I just think that full color Sapphire,
yeah, it is different.
That's it. That's what I want when I get a Sapphire card.
That's what you want.
That's what I want. That's a bit of me, you know.
I'm excited to try get some. I'm excited to see how it does over the month. I'm excited to see more autographs get hit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a Messi yet. I really want to see a Messi.
You haven't seen a Messi
autograph?
No.
I'm pretty sure it's in there. It's on the checklist. I'm pretty sure.
It is for sure.
Selection. Like I don't even know what image it would have. Or would it be his normal selection image? I need to check. I think it's good. It's long overdue. I'm happy that there's actually chase cards now in Sapphire again, because again, refractors used to be worth a lot more. Base card Sapphires were the equivalent of refractors, so PSA 10 did well, but those days are kind of gone. And now you have this. For anyone watching the YouTube, you can see the kind of Miss Sports cards here on Instagram posted the Jamal Musiala Superfractor Sapphire Auto hit. So again, not a Pad Pyrodasha. This is interesting. The combination of the Superfractor overlaid on Sapphire is like very like put your sunglasses on kind of thing. You know, it's like whoa, it's beautiful. But it's interesting just to have these kind of like all different stuff going on. You know, yeah. I hate when we get a set come out and it's like, maybe we'll talk about one of them today, where it's like, all right, well, so that's that. You know, we've had loads of those that we talked about on the show where it's like, so this is this, and like Mosaic we were talking about. Mosaic has a tendency to be like that. Yeah. Where you're like, so it's this and this and this, and that's basically it. There's nothing really. There's not a lot going on here. And obviously it's hard because all this stuff has to be designed every year, but it's moving parts help a product. That's it. You know, I'm looking at the Vinny Jr. Sapphire selection up for sale, and I love it. They're all, as you said, they're mug shots that you would see at the start of like a lineup. Who's in? Yeah. Who's not? Who's been selected? So now you're opening, you're looking for image variations, you're looking for Sapphire selection, you're looking for autographs, you're looking for the parallels, of course, the Sapphire parallels. I think it's just made a richer product, a better product, which is good. Yep. So this is the Sapphire is back. Hashtag is back. Thank God. But I've seen people get real hyped about the Jude Bellingham Sapphire autographs. I'm going to say that's not his first one. He's got them in Bundesliga Sapphire last year. Very SSP. We have an of 25 PSA 10. That is a pop one. Because they just don't come out of boxes back then in Bundesliga. Understand. Interesting stuff. Listen. Moving on to another beloved set, more so than Sapphire in the last couple of years by the soccer community, is Merlin Chrome. Now, Merlin Chrome has been talked about as being in peril. Is this the end, the beginning of the end for Merlin Chrome? Because now we have UCC products all over the place. Merlin's not the exception anymore. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Well, on Wednesday, we're going to find out. Because it's Merlin Chrome's coming out, yeah. 150 card base set. Highlights key players, stars and rookies from across the Champions League, Europa League and Europa Conference League. Am I right in saying Champions League Chrome is a 200 base check? I think so. UCC Chrome? Yeah, UCC. Yes, I believe that. Should make this a shorter print run product, of course. I think so. We got Arda Güler, the Turkish Messi, they're calling him in Turkey. Yeah, first appearing in a product now. Yeah. You have Figo, who insists on signing autos for both Real Madrid and Barcelona, as far as I know. Which is funny. Sorcerers is back. Dennis Bergkamp, Ageless Alchemy. You see here in the concept art. Renaissance is back, and Renaissance I think looks better than it has before. Yeah, looks phenomenal. So it's a classic 4 cards per pack, as we will try to explain at Comic-Con. 18 packs per box, 150 card. No checklist so far. Yeah, crazy. We've seen some first looks. Yeah, but no checklist. They've appeared out there on the timeline and on eBay, I think. And it's never good when people are opening a product before a checklist is public. Yeah, that's you're finding things out as you see them. Yeah, I don't love that. But you know, it's hard to police this stuff. Let's see if we can have a look here. There's a Arda Güler Mojo. Mojo's back. Mojo parallels are back. This is to 99.
in a Fenerbahce kit. You got the nice auto there that has $305 on it with 6 days left.
Yep, a lot of the hype for him is very real.
Yeah, he is injured.
Yeah.
So hopefully he comes back and plays again. This is a new refractor, I think I'm right in saying. The vintage Merlin refractor.
Yeah,
Who's
that's
already
like the
in
old
Chilmany.
school head to the stickers, I believe.
Yeah. I think we just bought a page of 2003 Merlin stickers that have this style on them. I love this.
That gets a big thumbs up from us. Yeah.
This is great. Now, obviously, this is like, I guess, like people find as flashbacks.
Yeah, we're getting a bit of that now.
Yeah.
This is our heritage.
People are looking at that going, I don't know
what that means.
That's, yeah. But that's cool. Mojo's back. Is Atomic back? I'm trying to, because that reminded me of Atomic.
I believe Atomic is back.
Is it? Because we like Atomic.
I could have sworn I seen it.
Yeah. So there's not a lot right now up there. Just a few bits on eBay that have kind of sneaked out.
Yeah, I can't find it. I could have sworn I seen an Atomic of somebody.
I think we did see Leander Cards on Twitter posted this.
Oy. Interesting, like now that Ronaldo's gone to Al Nassr, we're seeing him appear in all sorts of different kits in these types of products, because I think they're allowed now use him as a legacy player. I think like when he played for United, say,
he's under their rights.
Yeah, they couldn't be publishing him in a Real Madrid and a Sporting Lisbon kit, but now that he's out of Europe, basically, I believe they can, which is cool.
Interesting. Just gonna see if Leander Cards posted any other hits from
Sapphire.
From Merlin. Look at that. So these are the ones I guess that we saw on eBay. Yeah. There's
it's fun, like, I guess if you're breaking the product, Jason,
yeah,
you'll know you have a Sapphire selection as you're opening the packs, because you won't see that border. You'll see that full bleed.
This on Sapphire, yeah.
So that could have been partially designed for the opening experience.
That's interesting. Yeah,
borders versus non-borders, and kind of being like, by the way, Sapphire selection is the chase here. And that's the same. Sapphire selection is all the autographs. So when you see that, you're kind of going, if you get like a Sapphire selection parallel, you're going, oh, is it an auto? Is it an auto? And you check. You must remember, it's all part of the entertainment as well.
Very good. I have to say, if someone from Topps design team is listening and would like to confirm that, I will buy them a pint.
Confirm or deny
that if they did that for the opening, for the subtlety of the opening experience, I will take them out and buy them a drink all night, because that's fantastic, and I don't believe that.
You don't believe it?
That's a level of detail that
I believe it. I'll tell you why I believe it.
You're a very kind soul.
No. I believe it because they're pushing breaking so much.
Yeah.
Especially with the breaker, what's that thing called in baseball? The breaker's
delight.
Breaker's delight. Like, to me, there's a huge, like Fanatics Live, breakers. That then you're sitting there, what can we do for breaking? And that definitely comes up as a suggestion, and subsequently gets implemented, I believe.
Wow.
That's my belief.
Now
that theory makes sense, even if it wasn't intended, I think they'll claim it.
Yeah, well, now I'll never know.
You'll never know. But I believe it was.
The experiment is ruined.
Void.
But that's a level of visual design that we really don't see very often in the hobby.
There you
go. Okay, let me see what else we're talking about here.
Are you looking forward to that one weekend that we have free?
I can't wait for
2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Nothing.
Just nothing?
Just nothing, I think.
I want to get an ice cream.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Bundesliga Chrome came out. Friday. And I guess we'll talk about that, because one thing that people were saying a lot at the National, Enzo, when the Bundesliga came up, and you know this as well, people were saying they've got to do is put legends in it.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking, how many Bundesliga legends can these people name?
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, who are you thinking of?
You're thinking of Ian Robin. You're thinking of Ribéry. You're thinking of Miroslav Klose. You're thinking of Luca Toni. Get him in.
But that's
too modern.
It's too modern. So I mean, it's like, if your memory goes back as far as 2012, I'm not sure legends is exactly what you want.
You get your Jared Muller. Get him signing again. I don't care.
He's dead.
That's what I'm saying. I don't care.
All right. Anyway, they put legends in.
Class.
So now we'll see how. There's Matthias Samler for Borussia Dortmund.
Is that the fella someone tried to trade us at?
Yeah, an autograph, yeah.
Wouldn't take a Kyogo for Ashi in a trade-up challenge, thank God.
This, talking about borders and non-borders, the Bundesliga Chrome design has gone for what I would call corner borders.
Yeah.
2 corner borders. And I think I really like this design. I just wish we could get rid of that whitening up in the top left corner. Give me full colour, please.
What do you mean?
Like, so you have, I don't mind this here down the bottom of the card with the crest and the player name and all that stuff. You have Topps Chrome up here, and then across here, the Bundesliga, they need a background for the Bundesliga, I guess. But I would love to just take away that white strip and let this all be
full bleed.
That
would be nice.
Just, you see here, this looks like almost like there's a card underneath that.
I don't like go down, like your man has a proper background there, that red card.
Here? Yeah.
Musiala has a proper background. Bit of fans in the stadium. Whereas Karim Adeyemi, I need to get rid of these kind of nonsense backgrounds.
Right.
Give me more like what's that? What is that one at the top?
This one here? Airborne. So that is a photo, and the photos, he's been taken to the front of the photo, and the rest of the photos have been faded out, and they've put other stuff.
Don't do that.
Around here.
But the parallels of that probably look nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The highest, we're back in Bundesliga Chrome with the highest parallel as 299. There's 2 of those. There's purple and aqua bubble. Then there's 275 aqua bubble wave. Then there's X Factors.
Aqua bubble wave.
Aqua bubble wave. Everyone's favorite refractor. Blue refractor, blue wave. Green refractor, green wave. Pink refractor, pink wave. Gold refractor, gold wave. Orange refractor, true orange. Black, red, and super. And there is no Bundesliga Chrome Light this year.
Or flagship.
So this is...
The Bundesliga has been they've stopped it.
Yeah.
They said stop the madness.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. And now they have dual and triple autographs.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, here's your wonders of time. Here's your legends.
Let's go.
Miroslav Klose is in.
Absolute legend.
Franz Beckenbauer, who we've seen sign for Topps for a little while, is in.
Legend.
Horst Hrubesch for Hamburg is in.
I don't know.
Pierre Labarski for Cologne is in.
Cologne legend.
Andreas Bremme for Kaiserslautern is in.
Thank God.
I know you were getting worried.
I thought I'd seen Philippe Lahm there, but not quite.
Not quite.
So
there's some interesting stuff in here. We've got some triples. Jude, Adeyemi, Nico Schlotterbeck.
Can I say, I can only imagine some of the legends from the Bundesliga back before they properly promoted themselves. It's been a league of vibes for decades. I can only imagine some of the players we don't know about ourselves, Jason, that are beyond our time, but that played for like Freiburg. They were like Lars Bender, but for Freiburg.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Be incredible. Paul Wanner, Jamal Musiala, and Thomas Muller on the triple auto for Bayern. I don't know who Paul Wanner's agent is, but I'd like him to represent me in all future negotiations. This fella has more products he's in than senior appearances for Bayern.
Jesus.
It's crazy.
How did he do it?
How does he do it?
I hope the Miroslav Klose image is nice, because that is a proper legend.
Proper card.
Proper card.
Is it on eBay? Yeah.
I feel like I've seen one of them.
Right.
But I don't know. But like JJ Okocha.
Yeah, lovely.
Get him in.
Here we are.
Give me an Owen Hargreaves in a Bayern Munich jersey.
I've seen 2018 World Cup.
That's one of the problems. It's like you want the legends in, but like in soccer, a lot of legends are selling for pennies.
They have autos.
Panini have done it, you're saying?
A lot of them. Not all of them, obviously. And Klose, he doesn't have anything in a club kit.
Yeah.
So that's something. He does in a Lazio kit, yeah. Of course, he scored dozens and dozens of goals for.
There you go. But
to be honest, I like opening Bundesliga product.
They have improved it tremendously this year.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you get rid of light, you get rid of I think Sapphire might be gone as well. You get rid of paper.
Yeah.
You have this, you have Finest. I'm not complaining. I think it's not bad. Like, there needs to be a German product. The hobby is booming over there.
But we were talking about, like, we opened loads of Bundesliga Match Attax Chrome when there was a million Bundesliga products, and that was fun.
That was fun.
Bundesliga designs have always been good.
And it's always fun when you're reading it.
Yeah. The one problem...
Mittelfeld.
The one problem with the Bundesliga now is a problem that's outside the control of
the Bundesliga and tops and everyone.
It's that now you have guys like Kevin Schade going from Freiburg to Brentford when they're still young guys, as opposed to the kind of Moussa Diaby model where they're playing for a couple of years in the Bundesliga, or the Haaland model or the Jude model. That's happening earlier and earlier and earlier. So it's really hard now to prospect because the analytical machines at Man City and at PSG and at Chelsea are whirring faster than the products could be printed. So there's guys getting snapped up at 15, 16, 17 who would have had great rookie cards when they're 18, 19 playing for, Hertha Berlin, but
they've been gone. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a product for the German hobby in a big way.
Yeah.
I think everyone else will kind of be able to have their fun with it without it being everywhere.
Yeah.
But I do think the Germans need it because the hobby's so big over there, the soccer hobby is so big over there, and now they have a rich product full of their players, their teams, their clubs, their legends.
Yeah.
And I just think it'll be a W of a product for that niche, let me say.
Yeah, there's absolutely
nothing wrong with a Bundesliga
nothing
product.
Wrong
there
with
is something wrong with 7 in a year. What we
we
used to have. But at the same time, we had that when there was good rookies, so it is what it is. I think I'm just positive steps for Bundesliga, and to a point where I'm seeing it come out going, I want to open a few boxes, not going, oh God, Bundesliga.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That should be in hand probably this week, early this week. It came out Friday.
So, that is Hobby HQ. I don't know how much football you watched over the weekend, Enzo, because I was with you pretty much every waking moment.
Yeah, I didn't catch.
Jude Bellingham scored in his debut for Real Madrid.
Seen that.
Was quite brilliant. That's San Mamés, way to Bilbao. The record signing in the Premier League history, Moises Caicedo, decided between Liverpool and Chelsea. Went to Chelsea for £115 million or something. On that, I don't really care to talk about the relative benefits of having a good defensive midfielder for both of those teams, but Caicedo himself, the saga went on for about 3 or 4 days, and they would drip out news like he's deciding where he wants to go, he's sleeping on it tonight, or he's moving from Brighton to London, he's going up here, he's going down there, and I just think he ends up signing an 8-year contract at Chelsea, and for me there's no way this guy goes on to be one of the best midfielders in the Premier League.
Okay.
For any sort of time, because he's mucking about. You're either serious or you're not serious.
In what sense?
Meaning, when the time comes, you don't want to be joining the team after the first game of the season. He just strikes me as someone who maybe the sport is not the number one thing. The achievement on the pitch is not the number one thing. And you have to be incredibly talented to, be that way and have an amazing legacy as a player.
Okay.
They really are,
You're saying prices are very inflated at the moment for players.
I'm saying it's ridiculous, yeah.
115 million.
Yeah. And the reason he's on an 8-year contract is because the Chelsea have amortized the price they put you on as long a contract as they can so that they're not breaking any rules in any given year, because they're paying your fee over the course of your contract.
Yeah.
And because Chelsea didn't qualify for Europe this year, they're not bound by UEFA's new rule, which is designed against Chelsea, which is 5 years maximum amortization. So they're just bound by Premier League, and there is no limit to Premier League.
Fascinating.
So, yeah. Anyway, so best of luck to Moises Caicedo.
Ronaldo won a trophy for Al Nassr.
Okay.
First in their history.
The first trophy in their history?
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe so. Definitely their first cup, but I think it's their first trophy.
And what competition was it?
The Saudi Cup or something.
Right. Who'd they beat?
Okay.
Al Hilal, maybe? Whoever Savic went to. And a few of the boys.
All right.
There you go. This is going to become. This is the first. Call that the first ever Saudi league take. But catch us next year and we'll be on it. So the newest Evan Ferguson playing for Al Nassr.
Jesus.
Oh man, that's the future.
No, not for me.
But it's going to happen.
I will never engage with that on
Which
this podcast.
company will take that license first? Someone asked us that day, Jason.
I don't know.
There you go. That's a bit of you.
All right, that's it. See you on Thursday, everyone. Or are we doing a podcast on Thursday?
Hey, pretty sure we are, Jason. I don't know what's happening Thursday otherwise.
See you on Thursday, everyone.